from where
we
we
can
left
pick it up
off.
because we can start off where we're at Nintendo.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I've got to figure out. No, something's wrong with Twitch tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like Twitch is like, I didn't click in stream or live or anything, and it just back up. So
I wondered.
Okay, it's not us. It's Twitch.
Yeah.
Or our internet went out or something. I don't know because
I think we still have internet.
no, we do. Like I've got full bars there. I just got a message from a friend of mine.
Yeah, James.
No, it wasn't James. This was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Message. But yeah, no, it's. We'll just kind of figure out a place to start over, and I have to edit this better.
That's fine. We can just do the Nintendo thing.
Let me go into this file, save project as 324.
Good time to save. Good
Good time
time
to save.
Grab
And
a
I'll
new drink.
figure out a way to we'll just literally start with the okay, so we're gonna talk about Nintendo Indie Showcase. We'll start over. Sorry about that, people. Apparently Twitch decided to be dumb and we had to figure out stuff. Are we back now? I mean,
Are we
I
back?
saw that we were alive again, but I mean, I'll pull it up in the corner. Yeah, see, it shows that we're live,
Oh, hey.
but no one's here. Okay, yes, we are live again. James said we're live.
Yay.
Cool.
Cool.
No, not close tab. Just minimize and go out of my way.
All right, don't close the whole tab.
There we go. Okay, yeah, we're live. All right, awesome.
Hey,
So,
we're back. I had time
is
to
everybody
get
enjoying the show so far? Everybody having a fun time?
Yeah.
I don't even know if anybody's still around because shit died.
They might be. We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
We're just gonna start over with the Nintendo Showcase thing.
Yep. I'm starting. Okay, yeah, Brooklyn said we're back too. So Nintendo did their Gamescom Indie Showcase over the weekend as well. It's, I guess, we have a list of our favorite indie titles they put out.
Yeah, they
put
just
out
showed
there.
a whole bunch of like new indie titles coming to the system, and indie titles are the bread and butter of Switch right now, you know, because they're all good to play on the go.
And in this case, the three we're going to talk about are definitely not Nintendo exclusive indie titles. These have been around for a while.
Correct.
The first one, we've got the Xbox platformer Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ah, I love that.
Which
game.
is getting its sequels coming out pretty soon.
Yeah. I think the sequel does come out this year. I know James recently picked up Ori and the Blind Forest, and he was having a great time with it.
Oh no, I tried it a long time ago, and I'm not a platformer person.
That's fair.
I like a few of them. I was just like, this is complicated. I want to go back to shooting aliens.
Yeah, ask James also about how fucking complicated some of those gauntlets get, those platforming gauntlets get. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, no, like, I figured out a long time ago when I was playing Super Meat Boy that I am not a platformer person anymore. Because I was like, Super Meat Boy just got so complicated. That's like, no, I can't Twitch jump around shit anymore.
You can only slam your head into that get brick wall so many times.
Or that weird razor blade that's on that brick wall and then send my fucking Meat Boy flying everywhere.
Yep.
Oh, it was annoying. But Ori and the Blind Forest isn't, that level of gross.
Yeah, it's a wonderful
fun,
game.
And it's not as complicated because it is more children-friendly. But it's cool to see Xbox playing nice with Nintendo and saying, hey, we're going to put this product out. I mean, it's a game that could run on your fucking cell phone. The Switch is not very powerful. We talked about it a little bit ago. Everything that's coming out, like Witcher 3 is pushing the limits of what the hardware of the Switch can do at this point.
It is indeed.
And that's a game that came out a couple
2015.
Yeah, 2015. So that's showing you how old the Switch is already. Hotline Miami collection is coming out.
That's right. That's 1 and 2. And for anyone who doesn't know, the Hotline Miami games are also very indie, very pixel arty, very
They're Devolver
Twitch
Digital
based.
release games.
Yeah. So some of the first, like the kind of the Hotline Miami kind of really put Devolver Digital on the map as in the indie space.
Because it's such a weird game where you just kill everybody around you.
Yeah, and you have to be fast and you have to be creative when you kill these people. You are John Wick before John Wick was a thing.
Yeah. So that's really cool that's coming out because that's kind of like Nintendo being like, yeah, sure, a murder people game coming out. That's fine.
That is super cool.
Super Hot is coming out on Nintendo Switch, and it's out. So all these games, Hotline Miami and Super Hot are out now. You can pick them up on your Switch. Both of them have been out for a while.
Right. But they're both out on Switch now.
But now they're on Switch. Super Hot, I've tried playing, but like every now and then I get to this one level that just drives me crazy, and then I stop playing it again.
Yeah, I had to fight pretty hard to finish Super Hot, but oh god, did I love it.
I love that the idea of Super Hot as a video game where the world doesn't move until you move. But you also need to pay attention to every inch of space around you before you move, otherwise you're going to get sniped in the back of the head. or punched or whatever weird thing they decided to do to you. I really like it. I'm glad that more people are going to have access to it through the Switch. Then it'll get more notoriety. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I feel about all of these games in this list. It's like, hey, cool, good. These games deserve to be out there, and putting them on the Switch makes complete sense. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, people will play these now on their TV or to go.
Yeah, if you wanted to play these games on the go, now is the time. I mean, before, what did you need? Like an NVIDIA Shield or whatever they call that little...
Yeah.
Like, whatever that thing was. Yeah, I mean, come on. Nobody bought that fucking thing.
Yeah, no. So that leads us into our next section, which is the Inside Xbox Conference.
Yeah.
That was kind of a day one thing for the whole Gamescom. Sorry, I almost called it the wrong thing. For Gamescom. We got to see some cool things. Overall, it was very, very Gears heavy, but that's
right.
Gears 5 is coming out.
I appreciate that they're focusing right now on the games on the things that they're doing. They have new Destiny coming out. They have new Gears coming out.
Yeah, that's and PUBG getting crossplay.
Yeah, PUBG
that's
getting
awesome.
crossplay. They could be doing something very different right now, than just keep showing like show way too early the hand they have for their games that are obviously in development. Yeah. And I'm glad they're not doing that yet.
Yeah, no, this was the first time since Bungie and Halo broke away. Microsoft kept Halo. Bungie left. That Bungie and Xbox have been on the same stage together.
That's true.
They were showing off new Shadowkeep footage. In fact, 2 new trailers that were for Shadowkeep aired there. And they're like, here you fucking go. Have some more Shadowkeep. We're on the Xbox stage. This is a little weird. I wish they had done it at E3 because that would have been the biggest fuck you to Sony.
That would have been nice.
But we'll get that probably next year.
Yeah.
Or they're just, I don't know. E3 is a weird thing. We get Devil May Cry coming out on Games Pass.
Yeah, I was
at least for console games.
Yeah, it's console. I was super
you and I were
sad.
talking to each other, and I was like checking instantly. It's like, is this coming out on PC? No.
Oh, it's all I would have been
yet.
playing right now. That would have been my entire prelude. It would have been like I'm just slamming my head against Devil May Cry 5.
As everybody who has played that game, there's a lot of slamming your head against it.
Yeah, I mean, you can crank up the difficulty super high, and you can just try and look cool as hell, like any of the Platinum fighting games, and it's so much fun.
I do really like that because they did show a good amount of Games Pass during their section of the conference, and that was going like, here are the games we're adding right now. Here are the games that we are about to add, and here are some that are just going to be on PC.
Yeah,
and like it's still up in the air as a product because of it. PC just came out.
Yeah,
and it is an evolving thing. They're
still
not
technically in beta. Yeah, still very much in beta,
and it's not Netflix 3 years in yet. It's just definitely beginning level.
It's early Netflix
games, and overall, my experience with Game Pass has been fucking amazing.
Same.
Games download instantly. I don't get charged for shit. And whenever they go away, they go away.
Yeah.
It sucks, but that's what happens when you're technically kind of renting something.
Yeah, Brooklyn mentioned that he's really excited for Need for Speed Heat. I don't play a lot of racing games at all. I don't think Tony does either. But, I mean, that might be one to be excited for.
I do from time to time, but I really only play one franchise, and that's Burnout. I love the Burnout franchise.
You like crashing.
Yeah, I specifically, I don't even like the Burnout Paradise whenever they went to open world. I select something on the map and I do that thing. I hated having to drive to go do the thing. Mm-hmm. It was like, can I just load to go do the thing instantly?
But the events were all at intersections in the town. Yeah, come on, that's kind of super poetic.
It was a lot of fun. And getting the idea of having a world that you got to do. But I loved in the original Burnouts that were on like original Xbox, or was it 360?
I think it was definitely 360, where you would just like pick an event and it's like, all right, crash your car as hard as you can.
Yeah, no, like my favorite one was if you slam into cars, you get more time added to your run. And at one point, we did as like a couch co-op game.
Oh, yeah.
I was playing that for like 15 minutes, and we were all like, okay. I was like, I keep going. I'm done. Like, I don't want to keep winning. And we're like, handing it to shoulder. I'm like, you do it now. And that's what I loved about the Burnout franchise. And I'm waiting for it to come back because we get cool things like Need for Speed. We get Forza. We get, hell, the new Gran Turismo even looks good.
Yeah.
A couple months back, I was talking to somebody in a bar about video games. He's like, "Yeah, I got the new Gran Turismo," and I was like, "Really? You should be getting Forza." It's like, "I know you like Gran Turismo." And he's like, "Well, I only have a PlayStation." I'm like, that's cool, but if you have a computer, also get Forza.
Yeah,
because if you want a racing game, it's no longer Gran Turismo. Forza destroyed them.
Well, graphically.
Yeah.
The Gran Turismo, for car lovers, like real life car lovers, Gran Turismo has a suite of mechanics for under the hood that it basically makes it a driving simulator at that point.
Yeah, versus
it's a little bit nuts.
Versus the maps and the reality of I'm going to take this F1 car and put it on this track and try to do this inside of Forza.
Yeah,
you can't tune it, but you can totally take what feels like that exact real car to the point where they use these things for actually teaching people how to drive this shit.
True.
How did we even get changing onto that? Okay, it's entirely
Brooklyn Likes Games. All right,
Brooklyn Likes Games. Brooklyn should have his own podcast called Brooklyn Likes Games.
Brooklyn, that's a good one. You can pay us half for that.
Yeah, we invented that just now. That's your Twitch channel now, Brooklyn Likes Games.
Oh, that's a good channel.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'd subscribe.
Yeah. Gears 5 is going to add Halo Reach characters, which is going to be very confusing to me because those are 2 different universes, and the 2 people that are being added are super dead.
Well, sometimes people die.
Spoiler for Halo Reach, they're dead.
Sometimes people die and then show up in other games.
And in this case, that's what's happening. I get it. It's Microsoft. They want to have that universe, not co-universe, but that co-mingling of properties.
The Think Smash Brothers or whatever the fuck Sony tried to do for the PlayStation 3.
Look at the new Mortal Kombat fucking lineup.
That's true. It's got Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger in it now.
Like Terminator's in this shit. You got like Freddy and fucking Jason Voorhees and everything. It's that level of, it's that cross-pollination bullshit. But we've got Emil A239 and Cat B320 as being added to as Spartans. You can play as in the Horde mode in Gears 5. That's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
It's a Horde mode. We shouldn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I don't like Gears. I don't like Gears.
Me and Lash play every Gears game together, and we will not stop. Can't stop. Won't
James,
stop.
Whenever he was alive, played all the Gears games with one of our friends.
Oh, nice.
And but he's dead now, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't like the first one, and I just never kept going with it.
Oh, that's fair.
I didn't like the first one.
I think it's one of those games I would never play by myself. I have to play it in co-op.
Yeah, I could totally see that, and that's what it was designed for. That's what it was meant for.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna wrap that. So that was kind of the end of
our
Gamescom stuff. Now we get to start Disney stuff.
Oh my god, Disney. Okay, so a little
throwing
bit of
down
news,
the fucking gauntlet this week.
A little bit of news just from today, from a few hours before the cast today, is Disney. We already know the price. We know when it comes out. It's priced lower than Netflix. It's lower than no ads Hulu. We know how much fucking IP Disney has from all of Marvel, all of Fox. I mean,
literally nearly 100 years of Disney.
Exactly.
Movies.
So what we
found,
TV
shows and everything else.
What we found out today was that it will do HDR and 4K, and 5.1 audio and some kind of like really awesome audio that I'm missing the specifics of in my head right now. But all of that at the exact same price point for everyone, which is the lowest one they've already stated.
And you can have 4 people signed on to the same account at the same time.
Correct. So, I mean,
okay.
It's something I really appreciate about...
We were really trying to take down Netflix, guys.
That's the thing that I'm starting to appreciate about what they're doing. Is Disney could have launched this service, had it play like year one Netflix online, and people still would have bought the shit out of it. Because it's already cheaper than Netflix, and it's got everything they'd ever need, especially if they have children. And now, but they're not just doing that. They're not only giving us tons of original content that we're all screaming for.
Which we have a giant list of the original content that's coming to this.
Right, but they're also giving us like all of the features we would expect from the most premium level of Netflix we could buy.
Yeah, now this is... it's honestly, this is whenever Disney Plus came out, this is an instant buy.
Yeah.
They did state that they the day one... influx of people coming in is something that they're very much looking into.
Yeah.
That they are paying attention to all of the ins and outs on the back end to make sure that this functions and doesn't go down.
Yeah,
that would be, you don't want that blunder.
Yeah, because I mean, your kid's watching, Snow White for the first time, and right before the prince gets in there and ruins everything.
Super pixelated and cuts out.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Your internet's fine, but their service sucks.
Yeah.
But I think that they know what they're doing. At this point, they have Disney money. They can invest where they need to.
If there's anything Disney does, it's hire talented people. So.
Yeah, and like the list of talented actors and actresses and directors that we're about to go down, and they're just working for making new properties for them is fucking amazing. All right, so we're gonna start with the first one on the list, which is Monsters at Work.
Yeah.
This takes place after Monsters Inc. Like literally, apparently, immediately afterwards.
Right.
I'm a little bit confused on this though, because as a big fan of like the Disney World and the Disney experience, there is a ride called Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, where people come in and there's like kind of a show thing, and they also like kind of make fun of the audience, but it is the characters, it's them, but they're trying to make you laugh so they could gain energy for their world. Like we get to stay in our world, and there's basically hooked up a TV between the universes, and they get to take our laughter. And it is supposed to be part of the universe. That is part of the story of monsters in general. How does that function within this new movie?
I have no idea.
I'm interested. I don't know. I want to watch it.
It'll work the same way a Matrix 4 will work. We don't know how.
Matrix University fucking blew my goddamn mind. Or sorry, Monsters
Inc.
You said Matrix. I read the word monsters. My brain got all twistedy, dude. Monsters University, it blew my fucking mind. I loved it that they took that long to make a movie that was specifically designed to talk to the kids who were then going to college.
I was right about to ask. I could have sworn there was already another Monsters Inc. movie.
Yeah, so it's Monsters Inc., Monsters University. This is going to be the third in the Monsters film universe.
I must have skipped University. I'm so bad at Disney sequels to things.
Dude, give it a go. Like, it was so many... They specifically made the movie about the... Is a prequel?
Yeah.
It's about Mike and Sully going to college, but they made it the exact amount of time where kids that would have been like 8 to 10 are now going to college.
Nice.
So they made it to where you watched as a child, and now you get to experience what it is to grow up and go to college as you are also going to college and dealing with the same bullshit.
Yeah, I feel like they did a lot of that with the themes when they were releasing the Toy Story movies too. So that's super.
I need to watch Toy Story 4. I haven't seen
I don't
know
that
who this
either.
character Forky is, but apparently he's a thing. I need to know about because he's in the fourth movie.
Yep.
We're gonna move on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is going to be the first Marvel television show going to be on Disney Plus.
I was gonna say, is it? It's fall of 2020.
Fall of 2020 is when
Okay.
but it is going to be the first of the new series. So all the other new series that are going to be Marvel
Come
based
after this?
will be coming out afterwards.
I guess the timing makes sense because that's right when the MCU starts back up movie wise.
Yeah, we got about a year between now and then for these things starting up. At which point we have a big ass list of things that are coming to this service.
Yep.
It's really interesting that for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we get to have all these new actors and actresses coming in and expanding the universe. It's really hard for me to read all of them at the same time. So I do like that. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, it's going to cover their core relationship. It's also going to be showing who they were in the past to get them to this point.
That's cool.
So we get it's more of a jumping back and forth in time thing, which I think is awesome. Overall, this is like I'm super on board. I wanted Falcon and Winter Soldier to be a thing because at the end they can finally announce who the fuck the next Captain America is going to be.
Yeah,
which we already know is Falcon, but it's fine.
That's fine. I love that Emily Van Camp's coming back as Sharon Carter. I love her character in the MCU. And
we didn't get
from,
enough of her.
From the director of Sex Education, which if you didn't see that, it's on Netflix and it's awesome. It's one of their originals.
I loved that show. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, and Michael Waldron, the writer of Harmon Quest, which is another show that I very much love.
I just know that has Dan Harmon in it.
Okay, so Dan Harmon and a group of his friends, including his ex-wife, who was his ex-wife at the time they were filming the entire thing. So that's just a relationship.
It wasn't like they broke up during it.
So it's like
done.
him and his friends and one celebrity guest a week all play D&D in front of a camera, and someone animates it, and it's great.
Cool. I mean, that's the knowledge I have of it. So
yeah.
It's a fun, interesting story if you like Dan Harmon stuff. But back to what happened at Disney. WandaVision has a really weird ass list of people who got involved in it, and we'll tell you who they are, and then I think I can explain the plot of WandaVision.
Okay.
Even though everybody's like, we don't understand what the fuck this is. I think I know what it is. All right, so we've got Kat Dennings returning as Darcy Lewis. We know her from Thor 1 and 2.
Yeah, which, I mean, I guess she can go anywhere where there's science.
Yeah. Randall Park as Agent Jimmy Woo. I fucking love him as an actor, and I love his character in Ant-Man. He's so good. He just feels like the nicest FBI agent in the world. Which is, I think, Randall Park just in general. He's just the nicest guy in the world.
It's hilarious because in what's that other show he does? Is it Fresh Off the Boat?
I think Fresh Off the Boat.
He's such an asshole in that show.
Well, he's not. I like that. I like that show. I don't see he's an asshole in that show. He's just a first generation American who's trying to like support his family by making a restaurant.
I'll just never forget working is your vacation from poverty.
Yeah. Oh, that show is so good. But I'm interested. All right, so who else do we have coming to this show? Monica. Got to get into the notes where I can find the actress's name because there's the grown-up version of Monica Rambeau, which is Tanya Paris.
Yeah.
Tanya Paris is going to play the grown-up version of Monica Rambeau, which we know from the Captain Marvel movie.
Yep.
So we know that she will be playing the grown-up version, which so the movie takes place closer to now-ish. Mm-hmm. You might know her from Dear White People.
Oh, yeah.
The show, not the movie, I believe, on Netflix.
Okay, yeah. It's a show. It's just a
well, there's also a movie.
Yeah, well, the third season of the show just
I've only watched the movie. I've never actually watched the show.
The show is better.
I've heard that it is. Mm-hmm. We've got... who is this joining? Catherine Hahn joining as WandaVision's nosy neighbor. And the note says it sounds extremely Bewitched. And I get that. But this is where I came up with my idea based on that whole Bewitched thing alone. With the actors that we know wouldn't necessarily be in a place for Bewitched. We've got Monica Rambeau showing up. Mm-hmm. We got Randall Park. Sorry, I keep saying it. We got Tanya Paris as Monica Rambeau.
Uh-huh.
We've got Randall
Kat
Park,
Dennings.
Kat Dennings.
Yeah.
We all know that they would be outside of WandaVision. My idea for this is that it's going to be a show similar to a 1950s Bewitched sort of thing, which what they said was the style.
Okay.
But the entire thing is Wanda trying to rebuild Vision's mind by putting in familiar things, and these are people that get brought in to rebuild him without using the crystal.
Without using the Infinity Stone. So there's a comic that's just the Visions.
Yeah.
That's very much just Vision and his family in the 1950s Leave It to Beaver sort of setting.
That's kind of what they're going with, but we have to find a way to put Vision back in the Marvel universe.
Right.
So we take Wanda and her weird mystic magical powers. Mm-hmm. She's going to rewrite his brain and use other people to show up to help affect that.
Right, and the thing about this whole list is who I don't see on here, and maybe they're just waiting to talk about him, or we are supposed to assume he's in this, but I'm losing his name right now, but the actor who plays Vision is not listed on this list.
So far. I don't know. I mean, that's an odd thing to put in there, but then again, he could also just be a weird CGI version of him because he doesn't really exist just yet. We don't know. But I think that we'll have two versions of the show within the show. We've got the 1950s weird thing that's rebuilding his mind, and then the outside show more along the lines of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is going to be very small parts of the show where you introduce the character that we brought into his mind to help rebuild it.
Okay, that would make sense.
And you see why we have all these characters. So we've got Monica Rambeau showing up. We've got Darcy Lewis. And we got Agent Jimmy Woo, and these are people in the universe that scientifically and culturally would be reasons to help rebuild Vision.
True, they're all pretty extraneous, extraneous characters when you think about it.
So I think that the entire thing of WandaVision is about rebuilding Vision, but without an Infinity Stone.
Okay.
So yeah. Would you do this one so I can have a drink?
Yeah, absolutely. So Miss Marvel, who is in the comics a young, I think she's a Middle Eastern American. I don't know exactly. But Miss Marvel and Moon Knight. There you go, Muslim American, which is, I guess, just an American. Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk are all coming to the MCU. We have 3 new Marvel shows that were announced and 3 new Marvel heroes joining the MCU. They were announced at D23.
As TV shows.
That's right.
Yeah. And I am confused by this because all of those require a fuckload of money to make. Yeah. Are they going to be live action? Because honestly, cost-wise, animating the 3 of those would make way more sense.
It would, but also, I mean, Disney has all the money.
Yeah,
they have more than Netflix money, and Netflix will make fucking anything.
The one that really pointed this out to me was She-Hulk. Because She-Hulk doesn't change back to not She-Hulk. She is always green. She is always like 9 foot tall. Mm-hmm. She is She-Hulk all the time.
Gotcha.
So you are either having to find someone that's 9 foot tall and green skinned, which is seemingly very hard to do. Or you are going to have to make someone 9 foot tall.
Right, you're going to have to just animate a Groot in there, or a Thanos in this case.
Yeah, and make it look realistic to work as a TV show, and not just in the hour-and-a-half movie like that'll eventually they'll be part of, but like legit a multiple episode thing that's going to cost more and more the more number of episodes
and
you put in there.
And that's going to be the thing, isn't it, is how she looks. Because what if they just get a really tall woman and do her up like Gamora and she looks green and she's already muscular?
That would kind of work for me too.
Right, that would be fine. But if they manage to do like angles. If they manage to do like some really good looking
like
CG.
Miss Marvel flies. There's a lot of flying that she does.
Yeah.
And a lot of ass kicking for like a girl that's like 16. Like that's going to be complicated. Moon Knight is the one that is also very complicated because he sees people that aren't there, like, you know, Captain America.
That should be fun.
How are we going to get those actors to then show up in the show where you would see them?
And I'm saying this just to piss you off right now as a character who see things that aren't there. I wonder how similar this will be to Legion.
You know what? True, because maybe we get to hear some more about Moon Knight will have more of the like D-list characters because much like Legion, you can't have Professor X rolling around up in that shit.
That's a good point.
You have the people be like, I once met Professor X.
Yeah.
Those kind of people can show up. You get that Legion like, oh, these are the rejects of the rejects of the rejects.
Right. All basically told in fables from all of the important characters, like Professor X, etc.
I think that the three of these, like Miss Marvel is awesome. Moon Knight, I did not expect. She-Hulk, holy fuck. Like, all of these. Like, Miss Marvel was like, sure, that seems like a thing that we would do at some point.
Brooklyn called her in chat, the She-Hulk, the single female lawyer. Like, that's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be so... It is fun because she is a lawyer. She is single, and she has a problem dating because she's, 9 foot tall and green, and a lawyer, and a supermodel.
Yeah, Keanu for Moon Knight, please. If only.
That's the one.
If Keanu's going to join the MCU, it's probably going to be on the big screen, though.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to come in as Moon Knight. Sorry about that. I couldn't actually figure out who I would like to actually cast as Moon Knight. I haven't sat down and thought about it long enough.
Yeah, it might be better just to let it happen the same way it happened with The Boys. I was super happy with all the casting, but if I had tried to cast that beforehand, it wouldn't have been any of those people.
All right, so a side tangent for The Boys. The original comic book was designed to have certain actors portraying them. Specifically, Huey was supposed to be Simon Pegg.
Right, of course.
Which is why Simon Pegg is in the show, but he's like, I'm obviously too old to play this character now. Yeah. I'm going to play the character's dad. That dad does not exist in the comics whatsover.
Yeah, and it kind of comes through in a lot of his writing.
Yeah, but they found a way to put him in there,
which I like.
That was really cool. We're gonna move on from the how the fuck are they going to actually do these shows to something that's finally getting its final season. Like, this is a show that's existed. Star Wars Clone Wars is going to get its 5th and possibly final season. They didn't state that, but I'm feeling like after its abrupt 4th season cancellation, like the 2 or 3 specials that they did, and the fact we're finally getting a 5th is probably going to be the end of it. Like, Star Wars is a huge thing going forward for Disney, and I think that kind of getting rid of some of this past stuff is going to be necessary to go down the where we want to go.
Right, and let's not forget that this show, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, has had different iterations in the past. Like the legacy,
different art styles of it,
the legacy of it getting canceled and coming forward. We've had like a Clone Wars show that was all like bad Saturday morning CG. We had a really, really well animated one. We've had all kinds of stuff that was Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So getting one that's actually going to be finished is makes me all warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, I kind of like it, and if I get told that it's done and wrapped up nicely, I am looking forward to actually finally sitting down and watching all of it. But right now, the little bit I've seen has been too discombobulated for me. It's just been random episodes. Yeah. It's like, what's on this? Oh, cool, I'll check that out. And then I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I'd like to see more about the extended Star Wars universe, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about for the next forever. Yeah. Because this is Disney, and they spent a fuckload of money getting the rights to Star Wars.
Yep.
Speaking of, we're getting a Cassian Andor series, which is going to follow the Cassian Andor as the person and K2SO from the movie that was
Rogue One.
Yeah, that was Rogue One. Yes. That was a lifetime ago. like
it was almost 2 Star Wars movies ago.
Yeah, we're about to have other Star Wars movie, but it was a prequel to all the other stuff where you finally got the plans for the Death Star.
Shit, it totally was 2. It was almost 3 Star Wars.
Yeah, it was almost 3 Star Wars movies ago. That's how many Star Wars movies we've had.
Yep.
Like,
It was one a year for a while.
Yeah.
I was okay with that.
And we haven't barely seen anything of the one that's coming out.
And I'm so happy. I'm so happy they haven't been just bombarding us with trailers.
All right, so this is something that I was thinking about whenever I just realized that Frozen 2, the biggest sequel to the biggest Disney animated movie ever, comes out in November.
Yep. I've seen exactly one trailer, and it was like
anything.
8 seconds long.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, have you seen anything? 8 seconds? Yeah, that's literally all I've seen too. I heard more of a explanation of what the plot line is by someone on YouTube than anybody has ever said about this show or seen it.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally seeing Frozen 2 in theaters.
Yeah, I didn't see the first one, and I really want to see Frozen 2.
I want to see it like late at night when there's not gonna be a bunch of kids around, so I can like go in there and cry like a man without having a bunch of kids around me. I want my midnight
Alamo Draft House showing where I can get drunk and sad and cry while I'm doing it. Because "Let It Go" is still one of those songs like I can't hear. I'm like, no, it's not.
I can't do this right now.
Let's not do that. But we're getting 7 new songs in Frozen 2.
Sweet.
Brand new, whole thing. Like
I'm
that's
into it.
That's the reason why I know what the story is, because I watched a thing about it recently. But Alan Tudyk's,
Cassian Andor.
Cassian Andor, back to Star Wars and not Frozen, and us being weird guys, is going to have Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk coming back as the characters from the previous
Rogue One, which was great. Well, specifically, those Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk were both amazing. In that, so yes.
All right, I really like Diego Luna, but he so feels like a person that existed in 1973, and he like got taken out of time and placed here.
Yeah,
that I don't understand how he exists as a person.
He really did like play that role as
I saw him on stage at D23, and he came out, and you're like, why is 1973 on the stage? Why is 1973 Diego Luna on stage? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I remember seeing him for the first time in Rogue One and feeling that he felt like Han Solo the first time you met him. He felt like a scummy, like back alley nobody who's just waiting to like cut someone's throat for $1.
It was perfect, and the fact that we're getting him and Alan Tudyk as K2SO, which is the best droid in the fucking universe.
Yep.
Actually, no, wait. There's also the other droid from the most recent Star Wars movie that I like.
Oh, from Solo? Yeah, she was great, too.
I love both of them, and I want them to have their own movie together. Even though they don't exist in the same timeline period.
I'd still watch that.
Wouldn't you? Just to watch a movie of 2 droids running around fucking up the universe? I definitely would. I wish I could remember her name right now, but I've only seen the movie twice.
So, she basically becomes the Millennium Falcon. So.
Yeah. That's it. K2SO inherits the Millennium Falcon. We just get rid of Rey, and it's the 2 of them going on adventures together. I like this idea that we're going to get these 2 characters from Rogue One brought into another prequel story to continue fleshing out the Star Wars universe as live action. I get that people liked Clone Wars, but Clone Wars had to be made that way for a reason, for the budget.
Yeah.
You can't giant CGI army, a bunch of stormtroopers fighting a bunch of Jedis and trying to get every single actor in there. It just economically wasn't going to make sense.
And I mean, to be fair, at this point, we've seen more of the stuff happening in between Star Wars episodes 2 and 3 than we have information about all of the Star Wars episodes combined. The shows encompassing everything that happened during the Clone Wars is more hours than all of the rest of Star Wars, easily.
All right. Following that, we've got The Mandalorian had its first trailer released. I won't watch it.
I haven't watched it. I know someone's going to force me to watch it eventually in a theater or something.
Remember how I said a while back, this is many episodes ago, I wasn't going to watch the trailer for the new Dark Crystal because I didn't believe it existed?
Yeah.
Fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
Fucking YouTube, because I'm watching on my Xbox and I don't have fucking ad blocker on Xbox, made me watch a 20-second clip of it, and I was like,
it was all over Twitch during the Overwatch finals too.
It made me so mad.
But it comes out on Friday.
I know.
You're gonna have to acknowledge it exists on Friday.
That's fine. I will acknowledge that it exists on Friday. I'm kind of acknowledging it exists now because it forced me to watch 20 seconds of it, and I'm very mad about that.
It looked pretty fucking cool though,
much
didn't
like
it?
Yes. And like The Mandalorian, I don't want to see the trailer. I just want to watch the thing.
I hear you.
The Mandalorian is coming out. It's November 12th. You know how fucking close November 12th is?
Yeah.
I have a doctor's appointment right around then.
Yeah.
Like, that's how soon it is. I know that it's coming up. Like, I'm really ridiculously looking forward to this. I don't really want to go into the whole thing about this. It's a space western.
Yeah, it's The Mandalorian. It's if you ever wanted more Boba Fett, here comes more Boba Fett. And I don't think there's any Star Wars fan who's like...
Boba Fett.
Well, of course, but
he's a he exists in the same.
He's
planet.
a Mandalorian, and he was never Boba Fett anyway. He was a suit of armor with a gun and like 3 voice lines. Yeah, so I mean, like Boba Fett is Boba Fett, but if you want to know more about why he's wearing that armor and why he's such a badass, here you go. And there's not a Star Wars fan on Earth that isn't like, it's about fucking time.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. I'm also interested in this thing that will hopefully this will see the light of day. This is something that like is on my like they announced it and I'm just not sure if it's going to come out or not.
Right.
And that is Ewan McGregor coming back on television for an Obi-Wan TV series.
I'm into it.
I mean, that just seems like a lot. And I expect this to happen in like maybe 5 years.
I love Ewan McGregor in literally everything.
Yeah, so do I. So does everybody.
Like he's the most likable human on Earth. Like seriously, he just has that like that smile, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that if it does see the light of day. Disney's a big fan of like saying things and then not doing them,
and that's
especially
fair.
when it comes to their parks,
especially when it comes to projects and shit. Yeah, you're
so we got a name, we got a title, kinda, and a release date for Black Panther 2.
Okay,
it's called Black Panther 2.
Yeah, that scans. Yeah,
most of the other movies have had a subtitle. Think about it. Like
this
all
is
of them.
just wait. There's no like Attack of the Tigers.
It just says Black Panther 2.
Okay,
and it's coming out 2020. So that
should just be Black Panther 2, also directed by Ryan Coogler.
Yeah,
that should be the subtitle.
They brought everybody back on stage and like Black Panther, and then had like 2 lines for 2, so like Roman numerals.
That works.
Like, but my immediately was like, but none of the other movies did that.
Maybe they saw...
Why is this the first one to get the number 2?
Maybe they saw Doctor Strange's subtitle and we're like, we can't compete with that. Just call it Black
title's
Panther
already
2.
too long and too ridiculous.
That title's already too awesome. We can't make a better title than
We're going back to numbers. We're doing a Star Wars thing. We're just dropping the name. Go to numbers. It's fine. Either way, I just want more Black Panther.
Yeah, I'll be there opening night if I can.
Yeah, no, we haven't gotten, like, this is something that's not in the notes. There actually is the announcement of a Wakanda land that will be happening at one of the Disney parks.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not making a whole MCU park. Like, they're just adding on to Disney World.
So I can actually explain why they will not be doing that at Disney World.
Okay.
They did announce at this one, they showed more information for, and gave us the final name for Avengers Campus, which stands for something. Because, they always do letters.
Right.
That will be at Disneyland.
In California.
In California.
Wow.
Wakanda, I can't remember if it's going to be in Hong Kong or Tokyo or Paris. It's in one of the ones that's not in the United States.
Okay.
Is where they're going to be adding that. They'll be adding in more of these places everywhere else. But east of the Mississippi River, Universal has the rights to the characters for theme parks for the Marvel Universe. And if they are current... I can't remember exactly how it works out because they can't do Guardians of the Galaxy,
right.
But it has to be something that they didn't already have established in the park at Universal. So they can't do Wolverine, they can't do Captain America, they can't do Spider-Man at Disney World.
What a fucking mess.
But Universal can't update any of that things because they don't have the continual rights to them, so they're locked in this weird early 2000s bubble where they were waiting for that contract to run out so Universal can turn that into something else and Disney can make what will be its new fifth, we can just guess, the new fifth gate to Disney, like the Disney World experience, that will be an entire an world.
Yeah, an entire park of
an
Marvel.
entire park that is just Marvel.
Yeah.
And like that's what we can see in the future, but that future is like 8 to 10 years off because we're waiting on contracts to run out.
Like Marvel,
the rest of the world is getting Marvel shit except Disney World.
I'm glad Marvel
with a couple exceptions.
is still alive, and the only reason it's still alive is because it was able to sell off the rights to some of its most lucrative properties.
Yeah,
but goddamn, you made a mess. Goddamn, you made a mess.
The fact that we're dealing with this Tom Holland Sony bullshit. Still aggravating.
Yeah.
I think
we'll probably talk
later.
more about that.
I think it's like our last note where it says.
Okay.
I think it's our last note, which is it was Tom Holland saying, "I'm still going to be playing Spider-Man."
Oh.
And we know legally he has one more movie with Sony where he has to play Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was a trilogy, and that's it. Post that, we don't know. But all right, so he did Black Panther 2. Kit Harington joins the Eternals. Weirdly, this is where he's also going to be back on stage with his half brother from Game of Thrones because he's also in the movie.
Oh, okay, cool.
Dude who died during the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
He's also an Eternal. The Eternals is one of those movies that I really hope makes sense, and it isn't the first bomb of Marvel's history.
We all hope that for every movie that comes out.
But this is the one.
Especially the
This is the
risks.
one.
Yeah.
The Eternals, if you have read any of it as a comic,
I have not.
Neil Gaiman couldn't make sense of this shit, and Neil Gaiman made Sandman.
But the Eternals are literally space and time
gods.
Yeah,
They're
like what? How would you personify the concept of time? Like, okay, yeah, that's fucked up, but I can imagine
Neil Gaiman did that. It's literally in the book Sandman.
Now, how do you personify the concept of space? Well, fuck, that's a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
And this is the problem that the Eternals have always had. It started as a really good acid trip dream idea.
Right.
But its execution has never been that great in comic book form. I'm hoping with the stacked cast that they're making at this point that we will get the amazing movie and story that it could be. But that's just kind of hard to tell.
Can Harrington please take a very long, abrasive shower to wash all that Game of Thrones failure off you before you step onto the MCU?
I'm going to disagree.
Lot?
I still like the ending of Game of Thrones, but that's based purely on the fact that the one character I wanted to die died.
I was going to say, you're
I didn't care
objectively
how
wrong, but you're allowed to feel however you want about the end of the thing.
I didn't care how they died. I just wanted them to die. Anything else in the world would have been fine.
Yeah.
I just really hated Daenerys. I wanted Daenerys to die since like the first episode.
Yeah.
She finally did in the last. That's all I wanted in the fucking world.
Normally I'd say spoilers for Game of Thrones, but the ending is terrible. And
everybody has bitched about it enough at this point. If you didn't watch it, you know the ending.
Yeah. If you never watched any of the show, you know the ending.
Yeah. So this goes us to something that's not Star Wars related.
Okay.
Or Marvel related.
Okay.
Emma Stone as Cruella. The movie is going to be called Cruella. It takes place in the 1970s.
So it's like young Cruella de Vil?
Yep. Yeah. So we've gotten one shot of her as Cruella de Vil with 3 very large Dalmatians in front of her.
Okay.
And she looks, her hair's all like 1970s weird bob, but like super angular out to the side. She's wearing this shiny fucking like top, and
they also have
it just reeks of perfection.
They also have Emma Thompson, I assume, playing like the mother of Cruella de Vil, whatever you imagine that.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I didn't see anything. I've only seen the one shot, and that was Emma Stone. Not quite looking like Emma Stone because the way the makeup and everything is. But the fact we're getting a prequel to 101 Dalmatians is kind of amazing.
And Emma Stone, I love her in literally everything she's ever been in, all the way back to Superbad and coming all the way forward to like La La Land and everything in between that she's like nearly won Oscars for.
I actually just went back and watched The House Bunny, which hit Netflix again. But Emma Stone is in that, and I keep forgetting to bring that up as something that I've watched recently because I want to go on the side tangent of it's just Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yeah. It is literally the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
And that's okay, because it's public domain.
But that's the entire premise, is this hot girl shows up with these rejects and makes those rejects socially acceptable. And there's like, I think 6 of them instead of 7. And there's one that doesn't talk, which is bashful, of course. And I was watching going, like, fuck, this is on the nose. I didn't notice it the first time I watched it.
You want to see a really cool version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you should read some of the Witcher books.
I have read some of the Witcher books. Those are very odd.
Yeah.
There are some stories where you're like, I know what this is, and I do not know where it's going.
Yeah, it's like, I know what this is, but all the characters are wrong. Why is Snow White a bounty hunter?
Yeah. I've actually really liked the Witcher stuff. Yeah. Our last note actually says that we're supposed to talk about Tom Holland, and we already
D23.
So I think the only thing that I have left that I want to talk about that isn't in the notes is Disney park stuff, because Disney announced a bunch of that stuff. Epcot is getting the biggest reimagining of any Disney park in history. They are fully like redoing the premise of Epcot, which is kind of destroying to the history of Epcot, but everything that they've shown us seems like we're taking that idea that Walt had and just trying to bring it forward.
Now, for all those who, I mean, I feel like we're pretty old at this point, so we know what Epcot Center is.
Epcot was supposed to be the experimental prototype city of the future.
If you've ever seen, like, the big thing that is Epcot Center that everyone knows it for, it's a giant orb, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the technical name of it, but that's... the big ball.
It's a big sphere.
The big sphere, but it's this way that angles are played out. It's a weird. It's called a thing. It's a mathematical equation. It makes this big ball. There's actually a ride inside of that. It goes through. That ride is actually being completely revamped, starting in like 2 weeks. Very soon, they're going to be ripping that out and being like, we're making a better version of this.
Yep.
That ride has been following humanity's history with technology throughout the ages. But now it's going to be about telling how humanity tells stories throughout the ages, and they're updating the ending and stuff with new animatronics, which is cool.
Yeah. Disney animatronics are the envy of the world.
I
think James is drunk.
No, actually, if you at some point later after the show, I will show you. They have a Pandora land from Avatar, and they have the most complicated animatronic in the world.
Ooh.
And it literally looks like one of the aliens from Avatar is like standing there talking to you and moving their hands and talking to you. And
that sounds so fucking
And some of the
cool.
stuff they have coming up, where they have they have a Belle from Beauty and the Beast that looks like the cartoon walking around and talking to people, and you're like, this is fucking creepy, Disney. This is what the future holds.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm one of those people who's like weirdly into Avatar. Like, everyone like either likes the movie or hates it. But
I watched it like 3 times now.
I walked out of the theater being like, I really want to be a Na'vi. Like, can I go?
But, side note, you can totally go to Florida and go to Pandora, where they have giant floating rocks.
Awesome.
And you can feel what it feels like to ride a Banshee, because that's one of the rides. And they have other Pandora stuff. And apparently when it does turn at night, all the bioluminescent shit turns on.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's in the park that it's in is Animal Kingdom.
Oh, that
so you
makes
also
sense.
get to go see world animals
Yeah.
and stuff and all that cool things.
One of the actual best zoos on the planet.
But no, Epcot's getting its full fucking makeover.
Nice.
We're getting Mary Poppins is getting her first appearance in Disney parks, where they're creating Cherry Tree Lane from the movies.
Yeah.
And they're taking over part of England, and we're going to have a Mary Poppins ride.
But will there be dancing penguins?
There might not be dancing penguins, but based on the artwork, we're presuming that there is going to be this like nightly ceremony thing of the lamplighters from the new Mary Poppins.
Good, not the chimney sweeps of the forced child labor.
No, the new one had the lamplighters,
right?
And that was what's his name that did Hamilton? His giant, because he plays
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, I'm really bad at remembering his name.
Yeah, it's a lot of names.
There's so many names. There's like 5 in that one name. He played that character as the chimney sweep, and we see artwork of him in that world, and you see all the lamps, and we're pretty sure there's going to be like a street event that's like a mini parade of them dancing, because if you watch the new movie, they dance around and light all the lamps, and the song's called Triple Little Light Fantastic, and they're going to, we can tell we're like, we know what you're going to do, but we're really looking forward to it, even though you're not announcing it. We know. I'm looking forward to that, and just like this idea that Epcot never could truly portray the world that Walt wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Because it was designed to make a new city, a new way of living, a new way of like humanity.
Yeah.
And he died, and that we can't do that anymore.
It was the plot of RoboCop 3. It was never going to work out, but it was a nice idea.
Yeah, and it had to kind of change, and right now they need to way to incorporate the IPs from the movies and other things into more Disney parks, which is why Guardians of the Galaxy is also going to be at Epcot. But that's also part of their space exploration part. They have a new restaurant that is going to be this giant tower. It's called, I don't know, something 220, Restaurant 220.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a space elevator where once you ride up, you are now in space, and everything is screens around you where you look like you're floating in space. You take an elevator up there. Weirdly, this also coincides with what they're doing with Star Wars. They are doing a Star Wars hotel that is a 2-day, 2-day, 3 nights, or 3 nights, 2 days, I think, thing.
So it's like a whole catering
where
experience.
Instead of going to a cruise ship, you're actually going on a space cruise in Star Wars. So you picked up from the airport, get taken in a space shuttle to your space cruise ship, and you are allowed out once because they have a docking thing where you go to Batu, which is the new Star Wars place at Walt Disney World, and then you leave Batu and you go back on the spaceship and you continue back home, back to Earth. During this time, you get to do things like the lightsaber thing that Luke Skywalker did, and you get to help influence the plot line of the ship, whether you decide to side with the Resistance or the Empire.
The new First
Order. First Order.
Something
First
like that.
First Order.
First Order sounds
it's either
correct.
you do one or the other, and the guests get to influence the storyline depending on what you do and who you talk to and how you can interact with things, and you get to create this storyline trapped in this hotel cruise ship.
So it's like a
Space/Florida.
3-day, 2-night dinner theater.
Kinda. but you are
And
also,
also,
actively
like-
involved in.
Yeah.
And you also get to go to Disney World too, or at least you get to go to Hollywood Studios.
Damn, that's a way to spend your vacation.
We're
right there.
pretty. We don't have an actual legit price that they've announced
Yeah,
yet.
Disney stuff is always very nebulous with their pricing.
We do know that each floor will have 2 specific high cost rooms.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the rooms will be this regular price that are meant to hold 5 people.
Yeah.
And if you want to go by yourself, that's $5,000.
Uh,
Or sorry, $3,000 for
Yeah.
one person. But it will go down in price if you have more people going with you.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
a family thing, it's going to cost less per person.
So-
But I'm planning on going Disney by myself.
Yeah.
And that turns into I'm not spending $3,000 on this crazy Star Wars trip that I really want to go on, but that's $3,000, which is the total price of the rest of my trip.
You're just paying to LARP at that point, which, you know what?
LARPing in Star Wars, where they have Wookiees walking around and they said,
I'm
actually
cool with
showed that all of there are these space aliens walking around among you. All these puppet, like, space aliens and animatronics be like walking around talking to you and shit. And you're like, fuck. And just seeing what
That's
they've done
awesome.
with, like, Kylo Ren and the stormtroopers
Yeah.
in the parks, you're like, yeah, they can totally do this shit. I think
Nice.
that kind of wraps up, like, the love of Disney and Gamescom. Like,
and
we went on
Gamescom
a
and-
fucking adventure this week.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And the internet only broke once.
Yeah.
So we only had a couple minor technical difficulties. I'm glad that everybody stuck around listening to us.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us talk about
the
news
ghost
of the
of
week.
James will hopefully join us next week, but
He-
remember this forever now, he is dead.
Yeah,
and
no,
will
no,
only ever be a
he
ghost.
died. That's canon. But
Yes.
I mean, we're gonna hold a séance later. We'll try and Buffy him out. We'll see how that works.
Trying to Buffy him out of the show.
No, well, you know,
So you can
like
bring it in and out as we need to as
we'll
well.
tear him violently from heaven so that he can come
Oh,
back.
okay. And then
do
we're
the
going to
show.
stuff him in like a stuffed animal, and
Yeah.
then his stuffed animal persona will have to exist among us.
It's worth it because we're trying to put him in Sarah Michelle Gellar's body, but
no,
it's-
because I still want to marry her.
I mean,
She's my future ex-wife.
plus.
No. Plus, no of the pluses. You're negating. It's negatives. That's not how math works, Hector. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for the show this week. So for Hector, I am Tony.
And for Tony, I'm Hector.
Good night.
And good game.
Yay, we did a thing and it went really long.
Yay.
I got side tangent.
That's all right.
We didn't have any of the Disney
Well,
park
without
stuff in there.
James here to like calm us down, we're gonna go long.
Yeah. We went a bit long. You finished, and you still only finished 3.
I still only drank 3. Yeah.
Dude, I am this far into my second beer. I am proud of myself. right
Yeah,
now.
good job.
I got really.
You were
drunk
talking
this
a
weekend.
lot though, is why you didn't have a chance to get up or
Did I
get any new
overtalk you?
drinks.
I'm sorry.
No, not at all. No, not at all. What I mean is like you were like me. You never had a moment to like not talk to someone because you were just talking to me.
Talking to you or reading the
Yeah.
thing.
So
or
like
the thing.
if me and James start to talk, you can be like, all right, I'm gonna.
I can actually have a sip of my drink.
Yeah. Me, I'm just a lush. I drank
Which is
through
why
my
I'm
talking.
like, can you please do this part? Because I need to go get another drink, and I'm empty, and this is.
All right, we did it. I
It's
feel like
it's 9:15. Is where we normally end.
yeah, I feel like Ghost James is a little drunk. He keeps typing in all caps, which is good.
I think it's internet for yelling.
I hope he's enjoying himself on his in the afterlife.
Yes, he's definitely dead now.
Yeah.
All right, we are gonna end it there.
Yeah, we're done. I gotta go get
with
some food.
no after show.
After
Show.
show.
I had literally a beer in this much.
Yeah.
I also fell down and busted my cheek, so like I've got like that cheek swelling thing in the inside that I keep chewing on.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
annoying.
All right. Well, bye, internet. Y'all have a good time.
Bye.